So, a lot of people do reaction videos to, music or what's going on in the current times right now when, in media and entertainment. And I personally love watching reaction videos. I actually just watched one yesterday. But we're going to get into this Bashar. This is a guy that I've been following for a couple of years. His actual name is Daryl Anka. He channels a higher source and he has a lot of crazy, well, I won't say crazy. He has a lot of interesting, useful tools that you can utilize in your everyday life if you just implement it right now today. So I'm gonna see what this lady, she's about to ask him a question. Most of his videos consist of people asking him questions about their life, and it'll be questions that I would have, you would have. It just don't, it's questions that sometimes the questions are so like, what? Why would you ask that? But it still applies to you. It's like, damn, they asked that. I wouldn't ask that. But let me see, because I wouldn't have asked, but I might feel that sentiment. So let me see what they cooking. Bashar Twin Flame, discover 5 steps to fearless living. Let's go.
I just had a couple of questions, and thank you for being willing to interact with me. I appreciate it.
It is our passion and our pleasure to do so.
I was wondering if my daughter and or I are hybrids, and you may or may not be willing to answer that question.
All humans.
Here he go. See, this question. She asked a left question. Questions that you most probably just ain't gonna be like, you asked that? I just said she was gonna. I just literally said people ask some of the strangest, different. I don't even call them strange. They're just questions that your average person isn't going to ask, but his answer might apply to something that you would ask. So let's see what he's talking about. Let me run it back a little bit.
And our pleasure to do so.
I was wondering if my daughter and or I are hybrids, and you may or may not be willing to answer that question.
All humans are hybridized. There is no such thing as a human that is not. But you are not hybrids in the sense of the ones that live on spaceships. You are not hybrids in the sense of the ones that are created through the hybridization program. But many humans have had genetic alterations by having encounters in different layers of reality that hybridize you further. But the idea is that you are not the hybrids being created on the spaceships in the hybridization program, but you are part of the hybridization program that is going on Earth for the evolutional purpose of humanity.
My name is Ashley Puyol.
Hey, yo.
I'm the founder of a small
Listen.
company named Unwrap.
First of all, she asked if she was a hybrid. Now, that was a left question. Now they're talking about extraterrestrial, travel and all that, because he also gets into different entities that exist, because we know we're not alone out here. Come on, man. It's life. It's nothing but life all around us. So of course there's other life forms in every aspect, in every which way that we look in the universe.
Thank you. Do I have a specific gift or one that needs to be remembered or awakened in this lifetime?
Well, what are you passionate about doing?
I don't know. This seems to be a very...
All right. Remember that when we ask you what you're passionate about, it doesn't have to be a life-spanning career or a large-scale project. We assume right now that you are having this conversation with us because this was the most exciting choice you could make at this particular moment. Yes or no?
Yes.
Well, that's all you have to do. When this conversation is over, look at all the regular options available to you, the ordinary options, and just pick the one that has even just a little bit more attractiveness, more curiosity, more excitement, more passion in it than any other, even just by a little bit, and act on that first. Take it as far as you can till you can take it no further. When the excitement naturally wanes and you make sure you're not the one dampening the excitement, then you look for the next thing that contains more excitement than anything else and act on it next. And you just keep doing that. Then it will usually snowball into bigger and bigger opportunities to act on your excitement. And then
So here we go. It's funny because it's happening in real time. I literally just said it might apply. The answer might apply to your life. but the question might not apply at all. Like she on some, oh shit, almost knocked my damn light on right now. Hold on, bro. All right, but she's on some whole like different stuff right now, which I'm not even mad at. I honestly, I don't. If you want to investigate any path of existence, I'm all for it. You know, just don't try to knock everybody else that don't want to do what you do or doesn't thinking how you're thinking. You know, it's like people want to be free thinkers, but they don't want everybody to be a free thinker, because if they did, you would let me think freely and not be trying to make me think like you. So, I don't, whatever. But that's why I rock with this all the way, because it just allows you to really be here and accountable for every action you take, and very intentional about the actions you make and take. So right here, he's talking. She just asked if she was a hybrid, but now he's getting into passion and gifts, because she wants to know if she's a hybrid, because she wants to know if she has special gifts. She's trying to understand and find herself, remember herself, and see if she has any special gifts. And so she's asking Bashar, hey, am I a hybrid? Because Bashar, he kicks that shit, and these are the type of questions you could ask him, and you can't ask everybody these type of questions. A lot of people will laugh at you, and he takes these questions, processes them, and alchemizes them in a way that, and delivers them in a way that you could take it to the bank. So he's telling her right now, she's asking, do I have a gift? He's asking her, hey, what's your passion? Do you have any passions? She's saying, well, I don't really know. He's saying, well, what do you get excited about? So all of these things, if you ever asked yourself, what is my gift? What is my talent? What do I have to offer? Do I have any gifts? You can ask yourself, well, what's my passion? And you say, well, I don't know what my passion is. You say, well, what do I get excited about? You see how this works out? You see how it's like, even though she asked a left field question, it applies to you regardless of whatever it is you're trying to do in life. So you break it right back down. If you've ever thought to yourself, man, what's my talent? What's my gifts? What kind of gifts do I have? Well, you can ask yourself, what's my passion? What am I passionate about? What brings a passion in me that I'll just do it, and it feels good to do it? What's my passion? You can't figure that out? Well, shit, I don't know. I don't know what I'm passionate about. It could be, sometimes I like watching TV. I like playing video games. I like movies. I like to bowl. I like, shit, what am I passionate about? Okay. You don't know. Well, what excites you? Right? What gets you excited? Bowling, going watching movies. Okay, what about watching movies get you excited? What about bowling gets you excited? And you just go down that path of finding your highest excitement and what excites you. And we'll see. Let's see. Let's see what happens. I could tell you, but Bashar will tell you better. Let's just see. I'm gonna run it back so we can get a little bit of run it back like a battle rap. You feel me? You gotta get that last bar before you go. Let's go.
And act on it next. And you just keep doing that. Then it will usually snowball. More passion in it than any other, even just by a little bit, and act on that first. Take it purpose of humanity.
Thank you. Do I have a specific gift or one that needs to be remembered or awakened in this lifetime?
Well, what are you passionate about doing?
I don't know. That seems to be a very...
All right. Remember that when we ask you what you're passionate about, it doesn't have to be a life-spanning career or a large-scale project. We assume right now that you are having this conversation with us because this was the most exciting choice you could make at this particular moment. Yes or no?
Yes.
Well, that's all you have to do. When this conversation is over, look at all the regular options available to you, the ordinary options, and just pick the one that has even just a little bit more attractiveness, more curiosity, more excitement, more passion in it than any other, even just by a little bit, and act on that first. Take it as far as you can till you can take it no further. When the excitement naturally wanes and you make sure you're not the one dampening the excitement, then you look for the next thing that contains more excitement than anything else and act on it next. And you just keep doing that. then it will usually snowball into bigger and bigger opportunities to act on your excitement. And then you will be following the formula and being of service to humanity in that way. Does that make sense? Do you understand?
Yes. Thank you.
So it's not.
Boom. That's literally the formula. That's the play. That's literally the formula to being as excellent as you want to be. And it's not even like a formula that he made up. That's literally existence. The things that he's speaking on are the same things that some of the people that we believe in, like Jesus, Krishna, Buddha, whatever you want to believe, however you want to believe it. You know, I'm not here to argue logistics. I don't want to argue who was here first, what's wrong, are you going to hell? I'm not sending nobody to hell. I'm not saying you living wrong or none of that. This right here is saying it is what it is. It's existence. Where's your heart? I don't care what cloak, what hat, what reverend, pastor, pope, none of that. Where's your heart at? We could argue all day logistics. We could argue all day about Peter, Paul, Muhammad, whoever. For what for? What's the point of it all? The point of it all is to live optimally. The point of it all is to create an existence and in this curiosity that we have, that we are God-given creators, and to be as optimal as possible. Follow your passion. Follow your next excitement. It's literally the formula. And what's crazy is, you know, it doesn't, this formula right here is only people who are, you're going to understand it. It's like almost like if you know, you know. If I'm talking to you, you get it. If I'm not talking to you, you don't get it. And I understand that. It can sound completely ridiculous to a lot of people, maybe majority of people. But the ones that get it, they get it.